We are joined now live by Mike Farber, who's the village president in Hesperia. Of course, Hesperia in a different situation. They are along the White River, not the Muskegon River. Right. So, but we know that the impacts are being felt in the White River, basically because of the rising water levels there as well. I know that they were concerned about some of the areas there along the White River. So, Mike, good morning to you once again. I know Aaron talked to you early this morning. We appreciate you joining us now. As of right now, there is no evacuation in Hesperia, but can you tell us the situation that you guys are experiencing right now?
Right now we have, I'm hearing it now. Right now we got we're just monitoring the river. It's with the water going over it. We've got our spillways are working the way it's supposed to, and that's about the max of what we're doing. The fire department has been going down, checking with the residents, evaluating damage anybody would have, and it's just a matter of monitoring and waiting to get some good weather.
Yeah, right. I know. We're hoping that at some point we can get you guys some sunshine. We would love to see some too. Can you kind of talk about the arms of the government there in Hesperia at play? You mentioned the firefighters, you mentioned first responders. What is that teamwork like to make sure everybody's okay, even though, you know, we're not at the White River, or at the White River, we're not seeing any sort of evacuations now. We're just, you know, monitoring things. So what does that partnership between all of your departments there look like?
It's a real good relationship. Everybody is working well together. We have, between Oceana and Newaygo counties, everybody works well. You know, the community comes together good, and everything is going really well.
Yeah. What have you been hearing from emergency management officials in your county about the situation on the White River? Are they also monitoring it? And if so, what are their concerns as of right now?
Yeah, emergency responses is monitoring the river right now too, and we're concerned, like with bridges, if it gets up to them, if they got to close them. But right now, it's just a matter of wait and watch.
Yeah. What does the action plan look like for that area around the White River if you guys have to move or, you know, make moves in any sort of way to evacuate people?
Well, that's something that's coordinated in between emergency responses, the sheriff's departments, and the village. And we've got stuff that our engineers for the village have come up with, you know, different criteria of what to do.
Let me ask you about the Division Street Bridge. We know that water has already impacted that area in Hesperia. Can you talk about the structure? How is that doing? Is it underwater, or is it is the structure being impacted? What's that look like?
At this time right now, after we took the stop logs out of our dam, it went down and wasn't touching it. But now it's closed, so precaution-wise, we're leaving it closed for just a time. We opened the Michigan bridge because that has more clearage under it.
Okay, yeah, and we know that the water levels have risen significantly since we checked in with you this morning. In your words, how have you seen the water in the White River progress?
This is the worst we've seen in quite a while. You know, we keep getting hit with storm after storm, and so, like I said, right now the dam is handling it and the spillway's handling it. So, as long as we got right now, the sun's out here, and so that's what we need, some dry weather.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we hope to keep that coming for all of you. You mentioned that firefighters were kind of going to different communities and homes and checking in on them. What sorts of damage have you all been finding to residents across the region?
I could not even speak about that. I don't know, because they're just going out doing it right now.
Okay. Anything else? I mean, I guess in your position right now, in your eyes, what are you most concerned about right now? Obviously, I think there's a lot at play, especially on both rivers that we're monitoring. But for you specifically in the White River, you know, what are you monitoring yourself, or what are you most concerned about?
My biggest concern is the public safety. That's the biggest thing. Everything else can be replaced and fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. Any resources there in Hesperia people might be able to take advantage of? Or I know that you guys are kind of in a interesting spot. It's Hesperia, for those that don't know, is kind of in both Newaygo and Oceana counties. So any resources that you would recommend to people in those areas if something happens there on the White River that you know of?
If we have to do an evacuation, the school said that they would open up and make us an evacuation center there if we would have to.
And what's the best place for people to get alerts about the White River there in Hesperia or in Newaygo or Oceana counties or anywhere along that White River floodplain?
Yeah, Oceana emergency responses.
Okay.
Or Newaygo emergency responses.
Okay. Mr. Farber, is there anything else that we didn't ask you that you think is important to let everybody know, especially as it concerns with the White River there?
Nope, I don't believe at this time. It's just everyone be safe. Respect the water. It's dangerous.
Yeah, and that's something that we say around here all the time. Respect the polygon, respect the water, you know, have respect to the weather that is playing out around us. I think we all just kind of have to be aware of what's going on. Mike Farber, who is the village president of Hesperia, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
And of course, the White River, we want to make clear in Hesperia, where that dam is, that is just kind of a watch, wait, and see what happens type situation. There is no action that needs to be taken in the village of Hesperia or along the White River right now. Where you do need to take action is if you are along the Muskegon River, downstream of the Croton Dam and around the Muskegon River floodplain. So that is the action that needs to happen if you're in that floodplain of the Muskegon River, downstream of the Croton Dam. Evacuation alert in place right now.